channel Lightling Vision. Today Mother will continue with part 3 of the soul. So it's like entering in another dimension, and I thank you because it's so interesting. So if you haven't watched the first episode, please watch them, and Mother, thank you for continuing.
Yes, what I told in the second video, that in the ground the vision of the soul is you can best understand the difference between the vision of the soul and the human part of us when you observe the way we deal with difficulties in our lives. Now, if you take just the subject of the soul, you can see that in many spiritual movements they talk a lot about the phenomena of the soul or the spirit or the higher nature, which is all right. But the difficulty is that for many of the people on earth, whether they're dealing with spirituality or not, is that it's not so easy to make a link between the reality of the soul as an abstract idea and to see it functioning on a daily basis in your daily life, in a concrete way. I will try to explain this. I have met many years ago women, and they said to me, we have been in a spiritual movement for 20 years, we are meditating, we are reading books about spirituality, but we found out that in one way or another we cannot find the link with our daily lives, because we have children that have difficulties in school, we have a husband that drinks too much alcohol, we have all kinds of problems in our life, or we have one of the ladies had a cancer, if I remember well. They say we have the feeling that spirituality and the way we deal with it is one thing in our lives, and the daily lives puts us in front of difficulties that we do not know how to enter them, how to solve them. And then I found out that the real difficulty was that the persons somehow excluded life, the reality of life, of their vision of life. I'll try to explain. That's to say that I said the human nature naturally would like life to be the way she wishes it to be. And being in a spiritual movement, those ladies, these persons, had not changed that. That's to say, spirituality had become one reason even more to see life the way you like to see it. That's to say, a glorious halo was put around daily life, not to see reality. Spirituality had, in a very slow working way, become a reason not to see reality, even more, as everybody already does. I hope you can understand what I mean. I meant that spirituality, if it's not completely well understood, can become a reason even the more to make yourself illusions, and then not to see reality. I exaggerate in saying that, and at the same time I don't exaggerate, because you can do the same thing with alcohol, or with pills, or with reading books of a certain kind all day long to forget about the rest of your life. I mean, a rosy book about romantic stories, that's also for many people a way of forgetting what's wrong in their life, or what's not working quite as they would have liked it to work. Or you can even see films, or everything in life can be used to veil reality. So why do I use spirituality? Just to say that spirituality normally, in the best sense of the word, should help us to see through the eyes of the soul. And the soul takes us to reality in a good, in a constructive way. But what was happening is that spirituality was used to veil the reality even more. And that was the difficulty. Even though the persons were able to say, well, I'm sick, I have a problem in my marriage, or I have a problem with my children, the problem was not completely accepted. That's to say, to be able to see things through the eyes of the soul, you have to come to the point where you accept to see things as they are. And that is very difficult, because you will meet here this tendency in yourself of the lower nature not to see things as they are. So whether you're in a spiritual movement or not, the road basically from that point of view is the same. You can only solve difficulties in your life, and everybody has them, in all domains of life, or all kinds of domains of life. If you can bring yourself to let go of illusions and to see things as they are. And that is the point of view of the soul. The soul, the difficulty, and that's one of the reasons why many people try to get rid of the soul in themselves. Because you can say, yes, but when the soul, as I already said, it is a reality, it's not so far away. But why don't we contact this reality? One of the reasons is that the soul will immediately put glasses on your eyes to see the truth in yourself and outside of yourself. And that is what we fear. That is the main reason I discovered why the soul is not a popular subject. And even less something we will seek for in our lives. Because it will oblige us, little by little, not at once, to see things as they are, and then you will discover a completely new dimension in life. And then you will see why they are good as they are. Why your illusion was your sickness and your problem. The real problem is not the truth, even if at first sight it's difficult to see or to accept. The real problem is not seeing things the way they are. Because as long as you don't see things as they are, you can't solve the problem. You use fake solutions. It's as with the sickness. A sickness can be cured the moment you see really what it is about and you tackle the problem in the right way. But as long as you don't know what's happening, you can't find the remedy because you don't know what the sickness is. Well, that's the same thing in daily life. The soul is like a doctor that says, that is the problem. And now that has to be done to solve it. And the strange thing in life is that is what we absolutely don't want to see. We do everything in life to go around this problem and to feel it, and even more to bury it. And then life is an interesting ally of the soul. She will each time again put the subject on the table. You try to get rid of a problem, it will come back in another way, through another person, in another situation. You will never get rid of it. Never, never. And that's the magical aspect of life. That is to say, something in life will not leave you alone. Because you will find out the day you accept the reality, this reality that's hidden behind what you think is a problem or what seems to be a problem. And for the human part of us, it is a problem. But this problem is pregnant of a solution. But you have to accept the problem the way it is to find a solution buried in it, hidden in it. And you might say that human life is nothing else. That's a certain point of view, but there is a truth, a big truth in it. Human life is nothing else to get rid in time, little by little, of many illusions, or of an illusion that is veiling an important aspect of your life, to find out what's the truth, to overcome your resistance to accept this truth, and then to find there's a treasure in it. If they would ask me, how would you describe human life? This would be my description. To find out hidden truths, or hidden treasures in truths you try to avoid all your life, but you can't, because life will, will never stop taking you to this problem. That's what life, what it's about naturally. It will take you all the time again. You don't like the food you have on your plate, each time again the plate is in front of you. Until you find out that in fact it's something completely else than you thought. Perhaps it's delicious, but you have an idea of it that's wrong. Well, that's the way to describe it. But it goes far more deeper. It's far more rich than you think. It's the difficulty and the difference between the soul and the personality is that the personality seeks superficial, if I can say it that way, superficial, instant joy and satisfaction. Whereas the soul tries to teach you long-term work, profound, an approach that's profound towards life, and then at the end finding a real treasure that you can never lose again. Nobody can take it away from you, because it has to do with consciousness and with inner wisdom. Whereas the short-term goals of the human nature can give you short-term satisfaction, superficial happiness, but it will not make you more wise. It will not make you more intelligent, and it will certainly not make you better equipped to face the difficulties that are there also in your life, and that, as I already said, they don't go away because you don't like them. So I would say one of the reasons why it is important to open up for the reality of the soul and to put steps on the road to start to see things in your life through the eyes of the soul is because the difficulties in your life will really become treasures, they will transform in riches, inner riches. And you will not be the same person anymore, and you will be less afraid of difficulties. And that will completely transform life, your life.
Thank you, Mother. So is that the last one about for the soul?
I can't tell you for the moment. What can I say? In fact, you can say, when you talk about the soul, you're talking about the whole of your lifetime, about the sense of life, about the reason why you're here on earth. So in fact, you can say, the soul is something that you never stop deepening out.
Mm.
Whatever subject I will speak about, somehow the soul will each time come in, because she will show me through those subjects her point of view, and you will discover it's again the soul.
Mm-hmm.
So I can go on talking about it or take another subject, but we talk all the time about the soul.
Yes, for sure.
In one way or another.
Yes, that's the beauty of it. Thank you.
That's the beauty of it. Yes.
So subscribe to our channel so you don't miss the next topic that Mother will explain to us in such a wonderful way.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
I'm all touched. I hope you are. And yes, subscribe and write us your comments. Tell us what you would like to find out, any questions you have, and we'll try to answer. My mother will try to answer. So thank you, and we'll see you at the next one. Have a good day.
Your whole life through, you all traces left in the sand, footprints marked out in virgin soil, hearing eyes without guide, fearless, straight ahead. You're a solitary rider. Yes, you are a solitary rider on the track towards light. No one else but you knows the path that you are following through the sun and rain and wind, drawing lines at once in dust and time. You're a solitary rider, just a solitary rider. If one day you decide to take a look upon the other side, a world will open that is new, full of pathways still unknown to you. As a solitary rider, as a solitary rider. Your whole life through, you all traces left in the sand, footprints marked out in virgin soil, peering eyes without guide, fearless, straight ahead. You're a solitary rider, and one day you'll disappear on the horizon. One fine day you'll disappear on the horizon. You'll disappear on the horizon.